How can I improve my life?
You did. Watch this. It's the dominance protocol.
Welcome to Dominance Protocol. Master your mental edge in under 15 minutes. The competitive advantage you've been missing. Let me get straight to the point. You don't have time for theories or philosophies, and neither do I. You're here because you want results. What I'm about to share with you is the single most underutilized competitive advantage in business, sports, relationships, and life. The ability to control your mental architecture. While your competitors waste time on motivational nonsense, you're going to learn how to weaponize your memory and focus. This isn't about working harder, it's about rewiring how you process, store, and access information, so that when the pressure's on, you dominate. Why most people fail at focus. Here's what nobody tells you. Your brain isn't the problem. The problem is that nobody taught you how to actually use it. Think about that for a second. You were given the most sophisticated processing system in the known universe, and the instruction manual was, what? Pay attention? Try harder? That's like handing someone a Formula One race car and saying, just drive faster. Every second you're not in control of your attention, someone else is. Every time you can't recall critical information instantly, you lose. Every moment you spend trying to remember is a moment your competition is already 3 moves ahead. But here's the truth that changes everything. Focus and memory aren't talents, they're skills. And skills can be built systematically, starting right now. I'm going to give you a framework that takes less than 15 minutes to understand and a lifetime to master. But here's what makes this powerful. You'll see results immediately. The first time you apply this, you'll notice the difference. The 7th time, it becomes automatic. By the 30th, it's just who you are. Phase 1, attention architecture. Your attention is currency. Spend it wisely and you build empires. Waste it and you're building someone else's empire. Right now, I want you to think about something you need to remember. It could be a name, a number, a presentation point, anything. Got it? Now, I want you to notice something. Where is that information in your mind? Is it visual? Is it a feeling? Is it words? Most people never ask that question. They just hope information sticks. You're not most people. Here's your first power move. Every piece of information you want to own gets assigned a location. Not metaphorically, literally. When you meet someone important, their name doesn't just float in space. You put it somewhere. On their forehead, in their eyes, connected to their handshake. Try this right now. Think of the last 5 people you met. Can you see their faces? Now, for each face, their name appears somewhere on them. Maybe it's written across their shirt. Maybe it's tattooed on their neck. You decide. It's your mental real estate. Do you feel that? That's the sensation of taking control. That micro moment where you stop being passive and start being strategic. That's the difference between people who have a good memory and people who engineer their memory. Phase 2, the encoding advantage. Here's where you separate yourself from everyone else. How you store information determines how fast you can retrieve it. Think about your filing system at work or on your computer. The better organized it is, the faster you find things. Your brain works the same way, except most people are storing files in random folders and then wondering why they can't find anything. Let me give you a technique that sounds simple, but is devastatingly effective. Every important piece of information gets 3 anchors. 1. Where does it live physically? The location we just talked about. 2. What does it connect to emotionally? The stake that makes it matter. 3. What action does it drive? The outcome it creates. Let's use an example. You need to remember a client's project deadline, March 15th. Physical location. You see a calendar, and March 15th is highlighted in red. Not just highlighted, it's pulsing. It's 3-dimensional, it's unavoidable. Emotional connection. Missing this deadline costs you the account. Feel that? That tension in your chest. That's your brain saying, this matters. Or flip it. Hitting this deadline early means you dominate the competition and close the next deal. Feel that? That's drive. Action trigger. March 15th means you need to have final deliverables ready by March 10th. So the date automatically triggers your action sequence. Now that date isn't just stored, it's encoded with precision. When someone asks you about the deadline, you don't search, you know. Here's what's happening. You're creating neural pathways that are wider, stronger, and faster than normal memory formation. Every time you recall this information, that pathway gets reinforced. After 7 recalls, it's automatic. After 30, it's permanent. Storage is useless if you can't access it under pressure. And pressure is where most people crumble. You've seen it. The meeting where someone blanks, the presentation where the key point evaporates, the negotiation where they forget their leverage. Not you. Here's why. Your retrieval system is built on triggers. When you encoded that information with 3 anchors, you created 3 different access points. If one fails under stress, you have 2 backups. But there's another layer, rehearsal patterns. Most people review information randomly. You're going to review strategically. Here's the pattern that creates permanent, instant access memory. First review, immediately after learning, within 1 hour. Second review, before you sleep that night. Third review, the next morning. Fourth review, 3 days later. Fifth review, 1 week later. Sixth review, 2 weeks later. Seventh review, 1 month later. Why this pattern? Because your brain consolidates memory during sleep and strengthens what it thinks is important. By reviewing before sleep, you're telling your brain, this matters, keep it. By reviewing in the morning, you're reinforcing that signal. The spaced intervals prevent forgetting while building permanence. After 7 reviews following this pattern, the information is yours. Not memorized, owned. The difference? Memorization fades. Ownership is permanent. The focus protocol. Controlling your attention on demand. Now let's talk about focus, because memory without focus is like having a vault you can't open. Most people think focus means concentrating really hard. Wrong. Focus means eliminating everything that isn't the target. It's not about adding effort, it's about removing noise. Here's your focus sequence. I want you to practice this right now as I describe it. Step 1. Anchor to now. Take 3 deep breaths. Not slow, relaxing breaths, powerful, intentional breaths. Each breath is you claiming this moment. On the inhale, you're pulling energy in. On the exhale, everything that isn't this task leaves your body. Do it now. 3 breaths. Step 2. Define the target. What exactly are you focusing on? Not work, not this project. Exact target. I am writing the executive summary for Q4 results. Specific, measurable, clear. Say it out loud if you can. If you can't, say it clearly in your mind. This is you programming your attention. Step 3. Set the timeline. How long are you focusing for? 20 minutes? 45 minutes? 2 hours? Set the boundary. Your brain works better with defined containers. Unlimited time creates drift. Bounded time creates intensity. Step 4. Eliminate secondary options. Close the other tabs, silence the phone, turn off notifications. This isn't about discipline, it's about removing the choice to be distracted. Willpower is finite, environmental design is infinite. Step 5. Execute with singular intent. Now you work, not you try to work, you work. And here's the key. Every time your attention drifts, and it will, you don't criticize yourself. You simply notice, and you bring it back to the target. That's not failure, that's training. Every time you notice and return, you're building the muscle. Here's what makes this system truly powerful. It compounds. The first time you use these techniques, you'll notice maybe a 20% improvement. Better recall, sharper focus. That's good, but that's not the point. The 7th time, you'll notice the techniques becoming automatic. You won't have to think about creating anchors, you'll just do it. You won't have to force focus, It'll come naturally. By the 30th time, this becomes your operating system. You won't remember what it was like to struggle with attention or memory, because that version of you will be gone. And here's the real power. While your memory and focus are improving, you're building something else. Confidence. The unshakable knowledge that when it matters, you deliver. That when information is critical, you have it. That when focus is required, you command it. That confidence changes everything. How you negotiate, how you lead, how you compete, how you win. The practice that changes everything. I'm going to give you a practice that seems simple, but will transform everything if you do it consistently. Every evening before you sleep, take 5 minutes to review your day. But not randomly, systematically. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What were the 3 most important pieces of information I learned today? 2. Where did I store them using the 3 anchor system? 3. What will I do with this information tomorrow? Then, every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone or email, take 3 minutes to recall those 3 pieces of information. Can you access them instantly? If yes, the encoding worked. If no, you know what to adjust. This daily practice, 5 minutes at night, 3 minutes in the morning, will build your mental infrastructure faster than any other single habit. Why? Because you're not just reviewing information, you're training your brain to store and retrieve on command. You're teaching yourself that what you decide to remember, you remember. What you decide to focus on, you focus on. That's power. You now have the framework. You understand the system, but knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here's what you do next. Choose one piece of information you need to own. Could be a presentation you're giving, could be a skill you're developing, could be names of people in your network. One thing. Apply the 3 anchor encoding system to it right now. Physical location, emotional connection, action trigger. Then, follow the 7 review pattern I gave you. Set reminders if you need to. Schedule it. Make it happen. 7 reviews over 1 month. That's it. And then notice what happens. Notice how that information is just there. Notice how you access it without effort. Notice how your confidence in your own memory grows. Then come back to this material and go through it again. Because here's what you'll discover. The second time through, you'll catch things you missed. The third time, you'll see deeper patterns. The 7th time, you'll realize this isn't just about memory and focus, it's about becoming someone who operates at a different level. That's why elite performers in every field, business, athletics, arts, military, all use variations of these techniques. Not because they're more talented, because they're more strategic. The truth about mental performance. Let me leave you with this. Every person you've ever seen perform at an elite level, every CEO who commands a room, every athlete who executes under pressure, every leader who never forgets a name or a detail, they all have one thing in common. It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's not even raw intelligence. It's systematic mental training. It's deciding that attention and memory are too important to leave to chance. It's building the infrastructure that makes excellence inevitable. You now have that system. You know how to encode information so it sticks. You know how to retrieve it under pressure. You know how to command your focus on demand. The only question is, will you use it? Because here's the final truth. Your competition won't. They'll read something like this, nod along, maybe try it once, and then drift back to hoping their brain figures it out. But you're not them. You're the person who sees an advantage and takes it. You're the person who understands that small margins compound into massive leads. You're the person who doesn't just want to compete, you want to dominate. So use this. Practice it. Own it. And when you come back to review this material in 3 days, then in a week, then in a month, notice how much stronger you've become. This is how you build an unfair advantage. This is how you separate yourself from everyone else. This is how you win. Remember, first review tonight before sleep, second review tomorrow morning, third review in 3 days. Lock this in.
Welcome to the Dominance Protocol. It's time to master your mental edge.